Alright everyone, I started detail painting on the side panels, took a look at them. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a whole lot of dirt embedded in the paint on these side panels. I can't leave that. Especially since the actual physical time it'll take me to fix that is probably on the order of 5 minutes. Physical time. Now, they won't be done and ready for me to detail paint for a couple hours. So I probably won't get back to it till about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight because I have to go somewhere between 5 and 7. But I will get the paint stripped and I will get them repainted within 20 minutes. And that's not too bad. In the meantime, I can get the suspension finished on the car body. And then when I get back, I can give it a clear coat and start working on it. If I use a lacquer clear coat, I can be detail painting this within 20 minutes of clear coat. It's okay. I don't mind. I get to start over on a few things. I just got to be careful because this is full of Mr. Surfacer and other stuff, and I don't want that damaged. And a thought just occurred to me. Let me try something real quick. That didn't work, but I bet I can get something to work on it. Nope. I'm trying to do something with these speakers because I want them to be somewhat textured, and everything I try doesn't work, so I'm going to quit trying. I'm putting her in the alcohol bath. I'll be back. Alright everyone, real time elapsed is 10 minutes. And I have every single part stripped almost all the way back to primer. A little bit less than primer in some cases because I did some sanding and stuff. I will give everything a color coat again, starting over from the beginning. I know that's kind of a crazy decision to do at times, but I wasn't happy with the future coat. Now let me explain my reasoning behind the future coat. I want to detail paint these parts, okay? And I haven't brush painted in a long time. I do not have good brush paints here. I have a set of Vallejo paints, and they're good for brush painting. They really are. Okay? But my other paints are not, because they're all Tamiya paints. I do have some some Tester enamel bottle paints. Those will work good for brush painting. Most excellent, except for the yellow. For some reason, yellow never is good for brush painting in any paint line. And here's my idea with the future. And that's why all these things got future coated. And they got on there far too thick. So I had to pull it. The idea behind the future was this. I put down Tamiya, which is an acrylic / lacquer, because it'll dissolve for lacquer, thinner, alcohol, and water. And most acrylics are alcohol and water. It depends. Vallejo, you never mix that stuff with alcohol. Oh boy, I did that once. You get a gummy gooey mess in about 2 seconds. And if you do it inside your airbrush, like I did, you end up with a really gummy gooey mess that just will not clean out. Put down my Tamiya paint. Put down a layer of Future. Now, Future is an acrylic. Future is not dissolved with lacquer thinner. And it will not dissolve with enamel thinner. Then I can come in and use my Tester paints, or I could come in and I could actually use the Vallejo paints, because Future doesn't dissolve with water. It dissolves with alcohol and ammonia, not water. Okay? So, if you're trying the hairspray method, don't put down a layer of hairspray, a layer of Future, and then your color coat. You're just screwed right there. Okay? So, I was thinking, let's put down a layer of Future. And then I can play with my other paints all I want. It didn't work that way. The Future got on too thick. Way too thick. Plus, I discovered on some of these parts, like the steering wheel, there were 2 colors underneath there. And it's just thickening the paint too much, and I don't want thick layers of paint. So I'm going to recolor code all these. I'm thinking the steering wheel should be a different color than the rest of everything else. So that was also a bonus. This gets painted as well. So I've got a couple of colors to paint. Back 1 second, I'm going to walk over here and grab something, because I think it's cured up enough I can get it. Alright, we're going to move the camera again. We'll just tilt the camera a different direction. It looks kind of splotchy right now, but if I take a paintbrush, ooh, that's a bad paintbrush. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to redo that, because that paintbrush is, the bristles are dead on it. I'm taking a paintbrush and I'm loosening this. I flocked this. Okay, I used the good flocking. I got a bad spot of flocking right there, and that's because the underlaying color of paint was white right there, and I hit it with the gray and it pulled a little too much. So it looks a little funny right there. I don't know if you can redo flocking by spraying more paint down on it. We're about to find out. Okay, but I flocked the center console. It just has some color variations and spots I don't like. Alright, but I was going to strip the tape off this and repaint it, because center console is getting the same color as this. Guess not now. Alright, I'm not going to strip the tape off this. I'm just going to go ahead and hit that again with some gray. Throw a little bit more flocking down on it in a few places, and see if we can fix the color variations that have shown up. I think I mixed my gray paint. Let me get busy so I can get all this done, because I got to get this done. It's Monday and it's due Friday at midnight. It is possible to get it done, because I have 7 or 8 hours a day to work with. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit. Hello everybody. Well, here's the flocking. Yes, you can see it is different colors in different spots, and I have no idea why. The only thing I can think of is it pooled here a little bit. It feels thicker here. So maybe if I work it, I can get it down some. Okay? What I mean by pooled, I think the paint was just a little damper here than it was everywhere else. But I could also get away with making a McDonald's cup and putting it there. One other thing to keep in mind is that the car seats, don't beat up your car seat. Car seats sit like this. The car seat itself is going to cover up most of that discoloration. Plus, the only way you're going to see this is through the windows on the side. You're not going to see much of it. You're going to be able to tell it was flocked, and that was it. The other place the flocking didn't stick is up in here, but that's underneath the dash, so who cares? Alright? Now, I do need to tape and do some more painting, because the painting on the center console came out a little wrong. It's a little light in a few places, and I can't have that. It's got to look proper. So, that's up next, is getting this taped. I'm not going to paint it right away. I've done a lot of painting and not a lot of anything else. So, I'm going to go get on something else. Okay? I need to clean up a few of those parts in a little bit and repaint them, because they did not... Yeah, there's a few spots here and there after stripping paint that didn't look right. But anyhow, I'm getting very close to done with this interior portion here. Again, I'm going to get this taped and get ready for painting. The seats are 70% done, 80% done. I still have to do the headrest, and then the front seats are done. Once the headrests are installed, the headrests need a clear coat to match this, so they're the same shininess as this. Okay? So once that's done, I put the headrest in. These seats are ready to be fastened down. Now, lighting, I still got some lighting work to do. I still have 4 days though, so it's a good chance it'll get done. I'm moving along. I'm getting it down to where I just have the body, the interior, and the clear parts left. I got the mirrors too, and the mirrors are scaring me a teeny bit. But let me get going. Let me get this taped and get prepped for that, so I can get that done. Talk to you guys in a bit. Alright everyone, we're talking suspension on the Honda. Yeah, your eyes are not deceiving you. I got the front suspension close to done. I still have 2 parts left to put on. But I wanted to stop and talk about this thing, because it's nuts. It's the most difficult part of this model is that front suspension so far. Rear suspension isn't too bad. I think I've shown this already. There's two main pieces. There's this piece that runs across here, and Oh, there's just that main piece, and then these spring arms here and here. Okay? And that's pretty much a rear suspension. It's not very hard to deal with. I got to touch up painting a little bit on these things because I just put them together. Well, the rear suspension, no, it was put together a couple of days ago. This front suspension, however, it is an interesting and intricate thing. As far as I can tell, every single part is there. The sway bars are not there yet. They're coming. I haven't put that part on yet. And I haven't put on one of the CV joints yet. Okay? But this thing right here, you'll notice it attaches to this part running across the top here. There's a part that runs along the bottom here. That's the steering arm. The steering arm attaches to it. It also attaches to the top. There's actually 6 parts that have to go together on this side at once to get the suspension in place properly. It's no different on this side either. I just haven't put one of the CV joints in, which some of you are going to be like, that's near impossible to do. I'll get it threaded in there, though. Some tweezers and some patience. It's the one that broke in half. Okay? Just absolutely insane suspension on this thing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is completely there. Alright? So, there you go. This thing is just nuts. Really. It's nuts. Okay? I have some touch-up painting to do, a few things here and there, and this thing's going to be pretty close to done with that. What I have left, I still have to work on the interior and the body of the car. And I don't think those are going to take as long as this did. Because this was just nuts on putting it together. I mean, really. Lighting, I haven't done the lighting yet, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to do that. I'm still missing that one tire, which is a bad thing. Okay, but I'll just use the Porsche rims. I don't know about that. Anyhow, let me get back to work. I just wanted to show you guys that suspension. I'll be back after I put in that CV joint and that rear sway arm. And the anti-sway arms, or whatever you call those things, torsion bars. I also have to wire the coil to the ignition coil, which is over here, to the distributor. You can see the wire sitting beside it. Okay, I still have to do that yet. And yeah, this has been a very fun, interesting little piece. Alright, I'm going to get back at it. Oh, one other thing. Here is a trial run. You can see it's not all that good. That's the Tamiya Clear. Okay? The Tamiya Clear is not as good as some of the other clears. That's polished. Now, I never bothered to clean the piece beforehand, you know, but it doesn't look anything near as good as this one. So look at the difference there. Okay? And this is the all-clad lacquer. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that the Tamiya regular paint, not from the rattle can, and the all-clad lacquer do not interact with each other. So I'm okay in spraying this clear coat on it. And again, you heard my rant about Future. I'm not a fan of the Future. And Future probably would give just as good a shine as this. I'm just not a fan of it. So I'm going to get busy. Got a lot of work ahead of me. I've got 3 or 4 days left, so I can get it done. Just got to get going. Time to go paint. Got lots of painting to do. Clear coating. I'm going to clear coat the body. I'm going to clear coat some of the interior pieces. When they're clear coated, I can detail paint them. Once they're detail painted, I can put this together. So I'll be back in a little bit. Gotta go.